Hello, this is the Goodly Christian Witch. I'd like to continue with my essay on first principles of biblical magic, and we have already made a video for chapter 1, page 1. Now this is chapter 1, page 2. So if you haven't seen page 1, please look at that one first, that video, because this one, the prerequisite for watching this video to have it make most sense is for you to watch the first page first. So that was chapter 1, page 1. This is chapter 1, page 2. First principles of biblical magic. Okay, we'll begin now. Since we have ascertained that Jesus is the Sata-snake of Egypt that rejuvenates and causes resurrection of mummies, we must delve further into the event of Lazarus being raised from the dead by Jesus to understand how this apparent dichotomy can exist of the seeming duality of God versus Satan. To answer such a conundrum, the Christian witch must understand another treasure trove of knowledge, the Kabbalah. The Kabbalah can be spelled with a K, a C, or a Q as the first letter. What knowledge does a Christian witch garner from learning about Kabbalah? She or he learns of the true nature of reality, in which there must be two sides of every coin for the purpose of manifestation in the physical world. Nothing can exist in the realm of pure light or pure darkness. One must exist in the nexus between the two. Good and evil, light and dark, male and female, day and night, humans love to assign all good things to themselves while simultaneously casting their fears of evil onto others, especially those who are different from they. Hence, spells are done, rituals are performed, and witchcraft pursued in an attempt to do just that. The human mind wishes to call all pleasurable things to her or himself, while concurrently hexing perceived enemies with suffering. Budding magicians chant, bring riches to me, and curse mine enemies with poverty," unquote, and so forth. One has to begin somewhere. The Bible is filled with prophecies spewed by prophets upon enemies. Such prophecies are in actuality curses. All predictions are either curses or blessings. What our minds do not comprehend at first when studying magic is that the principles of evil, darkness, female, nighttime, coldness, and negativity have occasions when these principles afford healing, comfort, eternal existence, and pleasure to one courageous enough to explore both sides of reality's coin. Now, since Christian witches begin with the Bible, both Old and New Testaments, we must begin again with Genesis 1:1 and the Elohim, who are, as we said earlier, female and male angelic beings of the dimension of Noga, which is Hebrew for the planet Venus. With that said, we have determined that we are starting with a process already in motion, for we have already fallen down to the seventh Sephirah of Netzach, again ruled by the planet Venus, or Noga. By the time we read Genesis 1:1, let me read that sentence to you again. With that said, we have determined that we are starting with a process already in motion, for we have already fallen down to the seventh Sephirah of Netzach, Noga, Venus, by time we read Genesis 1:1. We are on our way to the lowest dimension, or Sephirah of Malkuth, which is the kingdom we hear so much about in the Bible. But before we can find our monarch, who is the Shekinah, or the Shekinah, meaning divine presence, and abide within our new kingdom, we must fully understand the dark side of not only the moon in Yesod, but also the concealed part of Venus. We must learn not only about the good Sephirot of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, we must educate ourselves about the evil side of that tree. Only then will we be able to travel down to the realm of Mercury, or Kokav, which is the planet Mercury in Hebrew, then find ourselves akin to the moon, or Levana, and finally fall completely down to Malkuth, where the Messianic kingdom awaits us. We shall now explore Netzach, Noga, or Venus, from the perspective of Jesus using his knowledge of both the tree of life and the tree of death. The good Sephiroth and the evil Klipothic Magick to raise Lazarus from the dead. How does the Egyptian Sata-snake, that is Jesus, in the Gospel of John, chapter 11, accomplish revivifying Lazarus? Jesus was a Jewish rabbi with full knowledge of Kabbalah, and therefore had studied not only the good side of the tree of knowledge, but also the evil side called the Klipoth, meaning shells. In the seventh Sefer of Netzach, on the good side of the Kabbalistic tree, we find the attributes of God that are desire, fertility, the female goddess of love, who is Venus to the Romans and Aphrodite to the Greeks. The metal of copper is found here, and the flower residing in Netzach is the rose. We coo and goo at the wonderfulness of love and the planet Venus, although we often fail to notice that a green-eyed, jealous, and insatiable monster of passionate desire lurks here as well, to be found on the evil side of the Kabbalistic tree. The evil shell, or klipa, that coincides with the Sefer of Netzach is named Arab Zorak, meaning the raven of dispersion. Venusian correspondences in Christian Kabbalah are Libra by day and Taurus by night, which evoke Abiriron, meaning clay, and Adimiron, meaning bloody. Klipothic references are from Aleister Crowley's Magical Correspondence Book 777, page number 58. Assignment of Venus as ruler over Libra and Taurus is from Christian Rosicrucian Kabbalah, which might differ from other cultural representations thereof. Between these two emotional extremes of desire and repulsion is where sexual love exists, which can cause both ecstasy and misery alike. From romantic love, roses are offered, perfumes and candy are given, and all too often, family, friends, treasures, and eventually health are recklessly thrown away. Who can resist romantic love? Only she or he who has tasted Arab Zorak, dispersing ravens. When sexual or romantic love is unrequited, revenge is all too often the result. Here we find our Lord translated from the name Baal. Jesus finds the repulsive substance of Lazarus' dead body in his tomb. Lazarus' corpse has been decomposed by the klipa of Arab Zorak, or the dispersing ravens, who by repulsion and rejection of every creature and of each other have caused tissue death. John 11:14, Webster Bible translation, then said Jesus to them plainly, Lazarus is dead. John 11:17, Webster Bible translation, then when Jesus came, he found that he had lain in the grave 4 days already. John 11:23-26, Webster Bible translation, Jesus saith to her, thy brother shall rise again. Martha saith to him, I know that he will rise again in the resurrection at the last day. Jesus said to her, I am the resurrection and the life. He that believeth in me, though he were dead, yet shall he live. And whoever liveth and believeth in me shall never die. Believest thou this? And now, the acceptance of the spell that Jesus has promised to perform as a miracle received by Martha and the family of Lazarus. John 11:27, again, Webster's Bible translation. We're going to use that from here on. If we change it, we'll let you know. She saith to him, Lord, I believe that thou art the Christ, the Son of God, who was to come into the world. Jesus continues the ritual, transforming the dead substance into rejuvenated bodily tissues. John 11:28, and when she had so said, she went and called Mary her sister secretly, saying, the Master has come and calleth for thee. John 11:29-31, as soon as she heard that, she arose quickly and came to him. Now Jesus had not yet come into the town, but was in that place where Martha met him. The Jews then who were with her in the house and comforted her when they saw Mary, that she rose hastily and went out, followed her, saying, She goeth to the grave to weep there. John 11:39, Jesus said, Take ye away the stone. Martha, the sister of him that was dead, saith to him, Lord, by this time his body is offensive, for he hath been dead 4 days. Jesus continues the ritual of transforming dead substance into rejuvenated bodily tissues. John 11:44, and he that was dead came forth, bound hand and foot with grave clothes, and his face was bound with a napkin. Jesus saith to them, Loose him and let him go. Jesus 11:45, then many of the Jews who came to Mary and had seen the things which Jesus did believed on him. In order to exist, physical life requires attributes from both the tree of life and the tree of death, then to subsequently fall into third-dimensional reality. When consciousness expands beyond earthly limits, incorporating all 10 Sephiroth, as well as all 10 Klipot dimensions, life is then made manifest. Since Jesus was a Jewish rabbi and a Kabbalist, he became a master of both the tree of life and the tree of death, as do all Kabbalists. Therefore, he had power and authority both in heaven and in Hades. Jesus descended into Hades before he ascended into heaven. Ephesians 4:9-10, now that he ascended, what is it but that he also descended first into the lower parts of the earth? He that descended is the same also that ascended far above the heavens, that he might fill all things. This is the end of chapter 1, page 2 of my book. It's an essay that will be a book, First Principles of Biblical Magic by the Goodly Christian Witch. And that's me. Thank you.